The reason we're here this time is because of Songkran. I want to tell you a little bit about the traditions, what I know about the traditions in this segment, and then the next segment will be just a little bit of fun after I did a clip after I went to the festival, and so you'll know a little bit more what to expect. So first, what is Songkran? Songkran is the Thai celebration of the new year. It doesn't fall on the same days as some countries like China and South Korea because they use the lunar calendar. This is the traditional Thai water festival, and it's based on the Buddhist Hindu spring festival rather than the lunar new year. The accounts of Songkran traditions in English are really varied, and I can't give you a reliable report about that because nobody really knows the origins of these traditions. They're so old. But there are some traditions that are fairly consistent, and that's what I want to give you an idea. What is it like? The Buddhist traditions, from what I know, are the washing of the statues. They use purified water, purified and scented water, and they also bring offerings of sand, which is needed for the maintenance and construction of the temples. In each case, merit is also offered. So, in other words, they're bringing gifts, but they also make a donation. I can't really verify the origin of the water tradition, but I know a couple of other stories. One is that everyone should visit the elders on this day and pour water in their hands and give an offering of food to honor them. I think that's a really nice tradition. Another story is that there is a Buddhist tradition of anointing the head. Some say anointing the head of the young monks, and others say the Buddhist monks anoint the heads of the worshippers. I have seen photographs of both of these traditions, and I believe they both exist, but the ceremonies happen on different days for different reasons. A good place to find out more information about the Songkran tradition is on a website called Chiang Mai Chiang Rai, and I have linked to a page that explains all about it on the website. So if you go to www.craftnomad.com, you will find this link, and all of the other links that I'm going to mention are also in the show notes on the website. If you want to see a really fun family celebration, a family with two children going to a temple, there's also a clip there. And I've actually included two clips with this family because they make such wonderful videos. So now, getting back to the traditions, the most popular activity is the water fight. As a precaution, I did not bring electronic devices, and you'll see why in the next clip. But there aren't any pictures of the water fight. Sorry, but maybe next year I'll have equipment where I'm not as worried about it getting wet. But this can still be a fun family outing, and you will see a clip on the website with a whole family celebrating. So it can be a family outing. There are a lot of young adults celebrating it too, and it can get kind of rowdy, but if you go early in the day, it's a good time for families. What it is just a spontaneous water fight. It's kind of the water tradition just kept evolving, and by the 1960s they were already doing this along the canal, and now it's gotten really huge. Chiang Mai is famous for this, and both the Thais and the Farangs participate, and there do not appear to be any rules. You may be anointed by a bucket of water, a squirt gun, or maybe even a water cannon. So if you're going to work or any place where your personal appearance is important, carry a change of clothes in something waterproof. The water fight became so rowdy in the last few years that this year they have banned the sale of alcohol altogether during the actual holidays because it was becoming such a problem. It was known as the 7 dangerous days. Now you're probably wondering, it's a 3-day holiday. Why is it 7 days? Because people start early and they just keep celebrating. So there is a clip on the website that will show you about the statistics now that they've banned alcohol. It didn't seem to affect the accident rate very much. But from my personal experience, it was much calmer this year. It was a lot of fun, but there wasn't so much of the adults kind of taking over and getting too rowdy. And I think, less drinking probably had something to do with that. That's not to say that people didn't drink before they went out there or whatever, but I'm sure that it helped. There was also more police visibility on the main street where the biggest part of the party happens. Waygao Street, north of the moat, where the main temples are, is where most of this activity happens. And also I didn't see any trucks driving by with water guns attached to 50-gallon barrels of water like I did last year. That was a bit much. This year it's been quiet on the streets behind my apartment building, whereas last year they were going up and down in cars and tuk-tuks and just everybody all up and down the side streets was also doing it. So it got pretty out of hand. So I think from now on it's going to be just a lot more fun because it's a little bit more controlled. It doesn't get really crazy. And I really would encourage you, if you're in Chiang Mai during that time, to go ahead and enjoy it. But if you get tired of being wet, you can visit the local temples. There are several of them along the main road where the water fight happens. So you can just go in the temple grounds. There's no water fighting allowed in there, of course. And it's very peaceful. So that's a way to get a break. And it's also a way to find out more about the traditions. In the photos, you'll see the Wat Mak Loki temple, and that's the one where the official celebrations happen. So I will leave that. There's a little bit of a narration with each photo. Not a lot of photos this time, but I just wanted to give you an idea about it. And then after the photos, please stay tuned because I want to tell you a little bit more about what the plans are for the podcast in the next few weeks. So I'm going to sign off now, and you're going to see my short clip after visiting the festival and some photos, and then my explanation of what's going to happen next with the podcast. So enjoy the rest of the podcast. Hello there. I have to hold my head down because there's a little reflection. I suppose you're wondering if I took up welding. No. These are the glasses that I got because it's Songkran, the water festival. And it's the only way to protect my glasses from getting all so messed up from being sprayed in the face. little bit more explanation about that. I have to take these off. But yeah, that's what these are for. You should not get the water in your eyes or your ears. So if you have earplugs, that's good too. It's day 2 of Songkran, and you can probably hear a little bit of the noise in the background. Yesterday I went to a temple, which I'm not sure if that segment's going to be before or after this, but we'll worry about that in the editing. So it's an annual festival. It's supposed to be 3 days. It's really usually more like 5 days, especially this time because it starts during the week, and then the weekend happens just as it's over on the 15th. So basically, there's a tradition about blessing where you have water poured on your head, and I don't know the whole story about that. There's also a parade where people throw water at the monks, and I haven't seen that yet. I did find a video where it shows them pouring water onto the Buddhist statues, and so there are all these traditional events. And I went to the main temple where the opening ceremony happened, and there were food booths and all kinds of entertainment happening. And the nice thing about going in the temple grounds is that there's a rule against the water guns, and people should be dressed conservatively, and they should behave a little more conservatively. So although the water festival is fun, it can be a little overwhelming, especially if you're not in a big group and you're just walking down the street getting shot with not water pistols, water cannons all day long, or all the way from wherever you're going to wherever. If you need to go somewhere, like if you have to go to work, you have to bring a change of clothes. It's just, you know. But on the other hand, this year it's been much quieter. It's not as hot. We don't have quite as many tourists this year. I'm not sure why. But compared with last year, like just the noise is out there, but there aren't a lot of people in the street right now. And last year was just a constant stream of people going by on cars and motorcycles and even trucks with the water guns. And this is not the main street. This is just a back street. You take this street to go from Wegao, which is the main street heading into the old city, and to avoid a large intersection, you go this way, and you can come out on the canal road and then get very easily to the superhighway. So we do have some traffic here because people are trying to sort of bypass that intersection and get more quickly to the superhighway, or just avoid the traffic on Wegao. I walked to the temple, which is, I don't know, 10 or 15 minute walk from here yesterday, and even this year with the smaller crowds, it was you can't walk on the sidewalks because they're all booths, food booths, and booths selling the sunglasses or the eye protection, hats, water guns, of course, of all kinds, and also people selling water, because one of the main places that they get it and why it's popular in the city is they can get the water out of the canal. Another reason for using these, and to protect your ears as well, because that's not water that's been processed in any way, and you just don't know what's in the water. So it's fun, and it's great for kids, and I'm going to add a link to a really cute video that I saw with a family who are celebrating it. So you can see what it's like for a family that's really having fun with it, but they're not getting out of hand. One of the reasons it may be smaller crowds and maybe less rowdy this year, I didn't have people just throwing, well, no, I did have buckets of water thrown on me, but it wasn't just, constant. You would get a little wet, and then you walk down the street a little more, and then, mostly people were just squirting you a little. But the good part is it was really hot yesterday afternoon, and some people were throwing buckets of ice water. That actually felt good. But I just wore a swimsuit under my clothes, so it didn't really matter that much how wet I got. And I think that's the thing. You just have to know that it's happening and be ready for it. If you have things that you need to do, if you go out and do it before noon, there aren't a lot of people out there. The vendors are just setting up, and it doesn't really start until the afternoon because, as you see now, it's about 8, and this will go on until at least 10, but some people party all night long. So the morning is a good time to go out and do your errands. Like I went to the grocery store this morning and came back and got things done. And then today I just stayed in. It's the second day. It will build up, but we also it was cooler, and we had just a little bit of rain. So that it didn't stop the parties, but it helped to kind of keep things calm and out of hand. They do ban alcohol during this period as well. I'm sure that there are people that buy alcohol ahead of time and stock up, but I think it does really help keeping it under control, because if people, when there are crowds as big as they are in the Old Town section, which is just like 2 blocks from here, if people were drinking, it would just be impossible for the police force to kind of keep things under control. And, we have kids, families who are participating too. So, but people seem to be mostly considerate. I did get hit in the face once and got some water in my ear, but it wasn't one of those really powerful water guns. And they're mostly very careful not to squirt in the direction of the vendors. So I found out that this morning I was walking past some of the produce vendors that are on our block, and I thought there was going to be a fight. The guy was just yelling, and he was so angry, and he ran across the street. And I thought, oh, I've never seen anyone fighting in Thailand. I know that happens sometimes, but there wasn't a fight. It was a bunch of kids, and apparently they had squirted the people in the booth. But they have their products there. They have their produce and meat and vegetables, all kinds of things. So I think that's why people are they're aware. So I didn't see anybody really getting out of hand. And a lot of people just have fun, and they have a party on their street. So if you're interested, or if you've never heard about Songkran, Chiang Mai is one of the best places to go, so I've heard, in Thailand for Songkran. And it is a lot of fun. Just know that you'll get wet, and plan accordingly and have fun. And if somebody throws water at you, laugh or say thank you, because technically it is supposed to be a blessing, even if they're shooting you with a water cannon from the back of a truck. But we'll see how it goes this year. It's been actually kind of nice. Maybe it's just that it was new to me last year, but the crowds were quite a bit bigger. And it was really hot. It could get hot again tomorrow too, though, because we had this rain coming through. We had a lot of wind and just a little rain, and so far it's still cool. But if it gets hot, then the water fights will get bigger, because, of course, It's more fun that way. So I just wanted to do a little update, and I'm trying something new. I'm going to do the clips a little at a time, because last time with the cotton fair, I tried to do one long video, and I learned my lesson that you have to do short clips, otherwise the editing just takes forever. And I'm also having problems with my computer, but more about that later. Hopefully I'll have a new computer by next week and things will go faster. But also sometimes I just forget what, little things that I could add to the show, or information that I could give you. So I'm going to do it a little at a time, and see if it all fits together a little better. Have a good evening. I hope you're having fun this Friday night as well. My neighbors are definitely having fun. I'm just enjoying the quiet and enjoying that it's a little cooler. So, see you next time. Bye-bye. Here we are at the entrance to the Makaloli temple. And this temple is a very old one. The front is the new temple. The back is the old temple. Here we have the performance space. So this is where there would be announcements, speeches, traditional dancing, music, and singing. And finally, we have a close-up of the tower of the old temple. I just wanted to give you a closer look at that because the old ones are quite a bit different. They're brick and sandstone. So that is the end of the photos from Songkran. I would like to have more of them, and hopefully next year I'll have a camera that can handle the wet environment, give you some more pictures. But enjoy the video.